You might think a modern home absolutely needs a giant oven and a walk-in closet. But in Japan, most houses skip these completely. It's not about being small or old-fashioned. It's about a genius design choice that changes everything you thought about living smart. This isn't just different. It's a completely new way to think about your own space and what truly matters inside it. Before we continue, hit subscribe so you never miss the latest updates. Number 1. Wall-to-wall carpeting. Step inside a typical Japanese home, and one of the first things you'll probably notice is the floor. It's almost guaranteed you won't be walking on thick, plush, wall-to-wall carpet. And the reason for this goes way beyond simple style choices. First, there's a very practical problem: humidity. Japan's summers can be incredibly humid, and thick carpeting is basically a giant sponge for moisture, dust, and allergens. That's a perfect recipe for mold and mildew, which is a nightmare to deal with. Hardwood floors or traditional tatami mats are just way easier to keep clean and dry. But the bigger reason is cultural, as we mentioned. Life in many Japanese homes happens closer to the ground. People sit on floor cushions called zabuton instead of big sofas, and at night they sleep on futons laid directly onto the floor. When your floor is also your chair and your bed, keeping it spotlessly clean isn't just a preference, it's essential. You can't get that level of clean from a thick carpet that traps every speck of dirt. Smooth surfaces that you can easily sweep and wipe down are the only things that really make sense. Number 2. Shoes worn indoors. Genkan entryways keep dirt outside. When you think about it, not wearing shoes inside makes perfect sense, especially in a culture where life happens on the floor. You wouldn't want to sleep on a futon or sit on a cushion if someone had just tracked city grime all over the room. This is where Japanese homes have a brilliant design feature called the Genkan. It's a small sunken entryway right inside the front door, and it's the designated zone for all things outside. Think of it as a buffer. The floor of the Genkan is usually made of a hard material like tile or concrete, and it's physically lower than the rest of the house. You step out of your shoes here, leave them behind, and then step up onto the clean floors of the main living space. That small step is a powerful visual and physical cue that you're transitioning from the public, dirty world to the private, clean home. It's a non-negotiable part of the design, and the Genkan isn't just a utilitarian space. It's also the first impression for guests, so you'll often find a neat shoe cabinet, maybe a small bench, and even some decorative flowers. Even the tiniest one-room apartments have a designated spot for this, making the rule crystal clear. Number 3. Large walk-in closets. When you think of a dream closet, you might picture a huge walk-in space where you can see all your clothes at once. But in many Japanese homes, dedicating an entire room just for storage is seen as a major waste of space. Instead, you'll find an incredibly efficient solution built right into the walls, called an oshi-ear. These are deep, built-in closets with sliding doors, so they don't eat into the room's floor space when you open them. The design is brilliantly practical, and it all started with bedding. Oshi-iri were originally created to store bulky futon mattresses, which traditionally get folded up and put away every morning. A folded futon is about a meter square, so these closets were built to be about a meter deep to match. That generous depth, combined with their width, gives them a massive amount of storage, often more than a standard Western closet. A sturdy shelf usually cuts across the middle, creating an upper and lower section that makes organizing super easy. Number 4. Oversized living rooms. In many Western homes, we love having a room for everything. A living room, a dining room, a family room. But in Japan, dedicating a huge space to just one single purpose is often seen as inefficient. Instead, rooms are designed from the ground up to be flexible and serve multiple roles. A huge part of this is how spaces are divided. Instead of solid, permanent walls, you'll often find lightweight sliding panels called shoji or fusuma. These are basically movable walls. You can slide them open to create one large, airy room for a family get-together. Or you can slide them shut to make smaller, private spaces for sleeping or working. The same area can transform from a living room into 2 separate bedrooms in seconds. This idea of flexible space even blends the line between indoors and outdoors. Many homes feature an engawa, which is sort of like a veranda that flows directly from the living area. With large sliding glass doors, it becomes a seamless extension of the room, connecting the inside with the garden. It can be a quiet spot for tea, a place to chat with friends, or just a breezy area to relax. Number 5. Dedicated guest bedrooms. In many parts of the world, having a spare room just for guests is a nice luxury, but in Japan it's often seen as a huge waste of space. Why dedicate an entire room to someone who might only visit a few times a year? The philosophy is to prioritize space for the people who live in the home every single day. So, where do guests sleep? The answer is a brilliant space-saving system centered around the futon. When guests arrive, a comfortable padded mattress is simply rolled out onto the tatami floor. And in the morning, it completely disappears. The secret is a special deep closet called an oshi-ire. The name literally means push it in, and they are perfectly designed for the job. An oshi-ire is typically a meter deep, way deeper than a standard Western closet, giving it more than enough room to swallow up the bulky bedding. Thanks to this system, almost any room can be converted into a cozy bedroom in just a few minutes. A living room by day can become a private sleeping space by night, especially when you use sliding paper screens or shoji to divide the area. Number 6. Massive refrigerators. When you step into a Japanese kitchen, one of the first things you might notice is what's missing. You won't see those giant double-door refrigerators that are the centerpiece of so many Western homes. Instead, you'll likely find a much slimmer, more compact model. And the reason for this goes way beyond just saving space. It shows a completely different way of thinking about food. In many countries, we're used to doing a big weekly shop, loading up the car and stuffing the fridge to the brim. But in Japan, it's far more common to shop for groceries almost daily. Local supermarkets and neighborhood shopping streets called shotengai are a core part of daily life. People just pop out to pick up fresh fish, meat, and vegetables for that night's dinner. When you're buying ingredients that you're going to use in the next day or two, you simply don't need a massive amount of storage. The entire focus is on freshness, not on stocking up for the long haul. So a smaller fridge isn't seen as a compromise. It's the perfect fit for a lifestyle that values high-quality seasonal food. And the innovation doesn't stop. Many Japanese fridges even have doors that can be opened from either the left or the right side, a brilliant feature for making the most of a tight space. Number 7. Large front yards. Walk through a residential street in a Japanese city, and you'll quickly notice something is missing. You won't see rows of houses set way back from the road with big green front lawns. In places like North America, a sprawling yard is a status symbol, but in Japan, it's often just seen as a waste of incredibly valuable land. In dense urban areas, every single inch counts. Houses are typically built closer to the street and closer to each other, maximizing the plot for the actual home. This approach is tied to a completely different view on how long a house should even last. Many homes, particularly wooden ones, are built with the expectation that they'll be torn down and rebuilt every few decades. A huge permanent yard just gets in the way of that cycle. So instead of a big public lawn out front, the connection to nature is often found in private spaces out back or integrated right into the house itself. A perfect example is the engawa. This is a narrow wooden porch that runs along the outside of a home, but it's built at the exact same level as the interior floor. Number 8. Separate formal dining rooms. In a lot of homes, a formal dining room is a must-have, but in Japan, having an entire room that's only used for eating is often seen as a waste of valuable space. The whole philosophy is about flexibility, and it starts with the walls themselves. Instead of solid, permanent walls, many traditional homes use shoji, those beautiful sliding screens made of wood and paper. These aren't just doors, they can make up an entire wall. This brilliant design means you can slide a partition open and instantly combine your living and dining areas into one big open space. Then, when dinner is over, you can slide it closed again to create cozier, separate zones. The room changes based on what you need it to be at that moment. This idea of a room having multiple jobs is built right into the home's design. A perfect example is the storage. Many Japanese homes have deep, wide closets called oshi-ire. They're specifically designed to hold futon mattresses, which get folded up and put away every single morning. This simple act instantly frees up floor space, turning a bedroom back into a living space where you could easily sit down for a meal. Number 9. Bulky furniture. Walk into a typical Japanese home, and you probably won't find massive, heavy furniture that stays in one spot forever. When you have less space to work with, every single item has to earn its keep. This means furniture is usually compact, lightweight, and incredibly smart. A perfect example is the bed. Instead of a giant bed frame that takes up half the room all day, many people use traditional futon mattresses. When you wake up in the morning, you just fold it up and put it away. But where do you put something that bulky? It goes inside an oshi-ire, which is basically a closet on steroids. These things are purpose-built for storage. often about a meter deep with wide sliding doors designed specifically to hold an entire futon set. This one simple habit instantly transforms a bedroom back into a flexible living space for the rest of the day. And the genius doesn't stop there. Because these closets are a standard size, companies make all sorts of modular storage units that fit perfectly inside. Some people even convert an empty Oshi-ire into a surprisingly spacious home office desk. It's the ultimate in multifunctional design. Number 10. Clothes dryers used every day. In many parts of the world, a big rumbling tumble dryer is a laundry room essential. But in Japan, you're far less likely to find one. It's not that they don't exist, but they are nowhere near as common, and the reason is a masterclass in multifunctional design. So where does all the wet laundry go? Well, if you look up, you probably won't see it hanging from balconies. Instead, drying clothes happens almost entirely indoors, using some incredibly clever systems. The most common solution is the bathroom itself. Many modern Japanese bathrooms are designed to double as a high-tech drying room. You just hang your clothes on a rod, close the door, and activate a special setting on the ventilation unit. This function pumps in heated, dry air, turning the entire room into a gentle, effective dryer. In just a few hours, everything's ready to be put away. When not using the bathroom system, people use a wide variety of lightweight, collapsible indoor drying racks that can be set up in a living room or spare corner, then folded away completely out of sight. It's all about using the space you already have, instead of dedicating a huge chunk of it to another bulky, single-use appliance. Number 11. Large kitchen islands. In many modern homes, the kitchen island is the absolute star of the show. It's that huge centerpiece for cooking, for homework, for gathering with friends. But you'll almost never see a massive, room-dominating island in a typical Japanese home. The entire approach to the kitchen is built around a different philosophy: flawless efficiency. Because homes are generally more compact, the kitchen is designed for pure ergonomic function. A big island can actually get in the way, forcing you to constantly walk around it to get from the sink to the fridge. Instead, Japanese kitchens are often laid out to maximize flow, with everything you need just a step or a pivot away along the walls. It's about making the act of cooking smooth and effortless. So, where does all the storage go? Instead of being packed into a bulky island, it's integrated brilliantly into the walls. Many homes feature incredibly deep, floor-to-ceiling pantry systems with sliding doors. These can hold a staggering amount of food and appliances, using vertical space so the main kitchen area feels open and uncluttered. Even the appliances are chosen to support this hyper-efficient design. You'll find smaller, dedicated fish grills built right into the stovetop, or refrigerators with clever doors that can open from either the left or the right side. It's all about creating a smart, practical workspace, not just a big one. Number 12. Attached garages. For many of us, the dream house includes a big attached two-car garage. You pull in, shut the door behind you, and you're home. But in the dense urban neighborhoods of Japan, a spacious attached garage is an almost unheard of luxury. The reason is simply the cost and scarcity of land. In a city like Tokyo, every single square meter of property is incredibly valuable. Dedicating a huge enclosed space just to park a vehicle is often seen as a massive waste of potential living area. The lot is designed for the home, not the car. So, you see some brilliant workarounds. The most common solution is a simple carport. It's basically just a roof held up by posts, providing shelter from the rain and sun without the bulky walls of a full garage. This keeps the space feeling more open and uses far less of the property. You'll also see what you could call precision parking, where a car is squeezed into a paved spot right up against the house with only inches to spare on either side. But the most fascinating solutions are the high-tech ones. Many homes and apartment buildings use mechanical parking lifts. You drive onto a platform, get out, and a machine lifts your car up into the air, creating a new parking spot right underneath it. It's a genius way to double your parking space without using any more ground area. Number 13. Excess decorative clutter. This idea of maximizing every inch of living space doesn't just stop at the big stuff like garages and furniture. It goes all the way down to the small decorative items we put on our shelves and tables. In many Japanese homes, you just won't find surfaces covered in knickknacks and collectibles. A big part of this comes from a really different cultural perspective on the house itself. In Japan, homes aren't always seen as a forever investment. Many wooden houses are designed with a lifespan of around 20 years, and even concrete ones around 30, before they're often torn down and rebuilt. This creates a mindset that's less about accumulating possessions for a lifetime and more about living efficiently in the here and now. So instead of displaying everything, the design focuses on incredibly smart storage. A great example is the Oshi Ear. This isn't just a closet, it's a deep built-in storage space, often a full meter deep, designed to hold bulky items like futon bedding that get packed away every morning. Everything has a designated hidden spot. This philosophy of creating clean, unbroken visual lines doesn't just apply to what's on the walls, but to the walls themselves and what's in them. Number 14. Unused bonus rooms. In a lot of homes, you might find a room that doesn't really have a purpose. A spare room, a den, or a bonus room that ends up just collecting dust and clutter. But in Japan, that concept is almost unheard of because every single space is expected to pull its weight. The design philosophy is simple. Don't create single-purpose rooms when you can create flexible spaces. A perfect example of this is the use of shoji, the famous sliding paper screens. They aren't just for decoration, they're lightweight, movable walls. With them, you can take one large, open-plan room and instantly divide it into two smaller, more private areas. Then, just as easily, you can slide them away to open it all back up again. One space can be a living room by day and a sleeping area by night. This idea of blurring boundaries extends to the outside too. Many homes have an engawa, which is kind of like a porch, but it's built at the exact same level as the interior floor. With large sliding glass doors, the living room can seamlessly flow right into this outdoor space, making it a versatile area for relaxing or hosting friends.